Hi everyone, I'm Laura and I'm back here because I want to talk to you about how to try to stay warm if we lose power this winter, and what you may need to have on hand that will help you if the power's out, whether it's just for a few hours or if we're without power for days or weeks like we were last year. I was just blown away with how many people did not know how to keep themselves warm. I understand that in this day and age, they're used to reaching up on the wall, turning that thermostat, and all that. First of all, you want to keep your car full of gas. That's going to be hard this year. I just don't understand. I won't get into the politic thing, but guys, keep your cars full of gas. That will be a life-saving thing for you if you need to. If your car is in a garage, please always keep your car either backed out. That would be your best thing. I have a carbon monoxide detector in my apartment. It's hot-wired to the apartment, plus it has a backup battery. So if the power goes out, it's still running. I double-checked with my manager because I wanted to make sure I was safe. Those are important. You need to make sure you have one. Even if you just go to Walmart and you get one for like $15, a small one, you need to have one in your home. Even if it's no more than, you don't bother putting it up on the ceiling, where you can take it into the room that you're going to be in. Because if you're without power, you want to be in the smallest area that you can possibly be in for your family. It's just me. So pretty much this part of my apartment is wide open. My whole apartment's only 24 feet from front door to the back wall in the kitchen, but to 36 feet from that wall to the back wall over there. It's not very big. I've measured it. I have 2 rooms that I can close off and stay in if I need to. One is my bedroom. It has a window for ventilation. It also has a smoke detector, and that one is not carbon monoxide. But right outside of my bedroom door is the one that has carbon monoxide detector in it. So what I can do, if needed, is to block off the hallway and make sure that you have a way to do that, is to block off a doorway. Everyone's thinking, how can I afford plastic? Guys, go to the dollar store. Get yourself a couple of dollar store shower curtains. They don't have to be beautiful. They just need to function. They need to be able to close off a hallway. Use painter's tape so that you're not destroying your paint or your walls. That just needs to stay up there to block off an area. So that is my plan. I already have mine, but I haven't put up where I can't reach them right at the moment. I didn't get them down before I started the video. That's what you need to do. Or if you have tarps, you could take a tarp from the dollar store, buy those cheap tarps. They also will work. I also have those. You can block off an area in your home that you have a safe place. You want to make sure you have ventilation, so that's always a place you want to have a window open. If you have to, you can use a bathroom, but you want to make sure you have ventilation, guys. Always make sure you can open a window or something to watch for that carbon monoxide, because the last thing you want to do is to go to sleep and never come back awake. It's the biggest fear. Lighting is easy. Everybody knows. You can either use a flashlight, which then you have to worry about batteries. And then there's some people like, oh, well, you can charge it. Well, you're without electricity. That's not going to happen. But good old-fashioned candle. I get mine always on clearance, or I go to thrift stores and get them. I have this candle out because this candle is twofold. It's a nice big candle, has 2 wicks. Last year when we were without power, it wasn't this candle, but it was a purple one, and I've already used it all up. But this candle and this, I was without power most of the day, but I got to have hot chocolate that kept me going. And I had sandwich meat and bread, so I made myself some sandwiches for my lunch. But I had the, and I couldn't find it. I think I took it camping, and it's in my storage area. So it was just a metal cup. I put water from a water bottle in it, and I set it on top of here. Now I tell you guys, it's not going to boil. It's not going to get hot, hot, hot. But it is going to give you good warm hot chocolate. So there's that. You can do this. Another thing, the candle will give you a little bit of heat, but not enough to really warm you. You can sit here and warm your hands. You can have it close to your face and warm your face, but it's not going to heat you and keep you warm in dire situations. The other thing is, and I'll link the other videos to this. This is a shortening candle, and these are wonderful. This is just a small one with a single wick. This will burn all day, all night. You can make one that will burn for like 1,000 hours if you have a big enough container. It takes about 6 pounds of shortening to make one that will burn 1,000 hours, which is like a week or something. I can't remember. It's a long time, guys. It will burn forever, and you need 2. I'm not even going to go there on how to make it. There are videos out there how to do a big one, but then you're having to handle a big glass container full of very hot liquid, because I'll tell you, this shortening, when it starts to melt, gets very hot, guys. So you do need to be careful. If you make a shortening candle, they do get hot. Don't make them in too small of a container. I wouldn't go any smaller than a pint jar or a jar this size from the Dollar Tree, because they do get hot. So guys, shortening candles, they also put off enough heat. Make sure your jar is wide enough. You don't want anything to tip and spill and burn. So make sure they're always on a good, solid area where they're safe and nothing's going to burn. Another way to keep warm, the hot hands. These are fabulous. They come in everything, and now they even have toe warmer ones that you could put over your toes. I will tell you, if you put these on, stick on gloves, or if you put those toe warmer ones on and you put socks over them, they're probably not going to work really good, because you have to have air to these in order for these to work. So be careful when you buy these, because they're not going to work if you cover them up or put your shoes on. They have to have airflow to work. So they're kind of like, they'll warm you up really good. But once you're warm, put your shoes and stuff back on. Don't put these on and then cover everything up and expect them to keep you warm. They will work if you put them in your bed with you, as long as there is some kind of air around them. You can't completely put these in your glove and put your glove on, because then you're constricting airflow to them. So make sure that no matter how you use these, which ones that you get, you got to have some kind of air around them. But they are great. They will warm you. They will keep you warm if you get cold. Great things to have. Stock up on them. Also, you can go to the Dollar General, are carrying single packs for $1. They also had, one of these was $1.25. I think this was $1.25 for the super warmer. This is big enough to like stick up your backside on your shirt or under your shirt or something, or stick in your bed. This is the big one. And then this is $1. It's a 2-pack of the small ones that would go in your hands. These are great for your kids to, you know, hold in their hands and warm their hands up, because kids hate to keep their hands warm. So that is awesome. Keep them on hand. Doesn't matter. Keep them on hand. They're great to have. Another thing to have on hand, if it's cold and it's freezing and we're without power, you know that you got a refrigerator full of food and you got a freezer with food in it. Eventually that food's going to start to thaw. But if it's cold and things are freezing outside, get some bottles of water. It doesn't matter if it's water like this. Crack the seal, take a little bit out of it, put the seal back on, take it outside and let it freeze. This will help keep your refrigerator cold, and it will also help keep your food a little bit longer, give it a little longer life in your freezer. Also, use up what you've got in your freezer and refrigerator first. Sounds terrible to have to do that, but you don't want to lose everything. Gatorade bottles, anything like that you can freeze up water in while you're waiting for your electricity to come back on, just to be safe. Another thing you can use, the black bags, put some water in it, freeze it, make sure it's sealed good. Once it's froze, drop it in either your refrigerator or your freezer, and it'll help save some of your food. Now, there's a big expense that I went and bought this month, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Other things that you need to make sure you have is warm clothes. Guys, I see everybody buying these cute clothes, and they buy and they get rid of clothes and stuff. Always hang on to some things, just because you know, whatever. I don't understand people that like clean out their closets and they say, oh, I don't need this, I don't need this, You should always have extra clothing to put on. Now, yeah, this is my Honeycut Farm hoodie. Let me tell you what I like about this hoodie. First of all, the thing is huge, okay? It's huge. It comes well below my backside, covers everything. It comes way down below my fingers. So my hands are going to stay warm, okay? And it has a hood. I put this thing on and I'm going to stay warm. Always wear layers. So put this on over top of something. And the same with your pants, if you can stand having on more than one pair. I got to tell you something about wearing more than one pair of socks. It's a good idea, but if you find your feet are starting to sweat, take off a pair. Because if your feet are sweating, you're going to have cold feet. Just saying. Don't let yourself get sweaty or too hot, but, you know, a big, heavy, not really heavy, but a big, warm, oversized hoodie is a good idea to have on hand. Other things, people are all the time getting rid of their, oh, I'm going to get a new bed set, get rid of everything they had before. Don't do that. Hang on to blankets. This is a hand crocheted blanket. These are great. This works almost like a thermal blanket. You have any of these, put in between your sheet and your other blanket. This will actually work like a thermal blanket. It has the little air holes in it, and it will warm up your bed really quick. Always keep extra bedding around, and the more the merrier. Don't be afraid to dog pile in the bed. That's the best way to help keep you and your family warm, all in one room. And another thing that you should always have, I have like 5 of these, and I take them with me when I go anywhere. These are battery cell chargers. They sell them at Walmart. I got these on clearance for $3 a piece. I picked up, I don't know how many, I gave some away. I have 5 of them myself, and I keep them fully charged, and they will hold charge. 2 of these I think I've used, so I'm going to have to figure out which 2. And go back and charge them. But they hold charge for a good, like, 5 months. And I finally checked one of them out, and I was like, oh, it's down to like, I think it was like down to 80 something. I was like, oh, I better recharge it because I want to make sure they stay charged. So go to Walmart, get yourself some of these. They have them, I believe, ready to go through the cash register. They used to have some right there by the cash register. But they're not that expensive, $5, $6. Get yourself a couple. They will charge your cell phones and charge them up. Keep them on hand so you at least have your cell phone so you can charge it. They are a very big necessity. Because without your cell phone, how are you going to know, A, what the weather's going to be, B, if there's something coming up that you need to know, and if you need to get out and you need help, you need to be able to make that phone call. So the expense that I bought this year, and I was going to open this and realized I need a pair of scissors because it has a tab. Hold on, let me go get something. Now, I live in a community that no longer allows you to have barbecue grills. Even if they're electric, you can't have nothing outside. They limit you on how many flower pots you can have and everything. I mean, they just went completely, totally bat crap crazy on us. But I'll tell you, I don't care. When it comes down to, am I going to be able to heat up some food? Am I going to be able to heat up my apartment if it comes down to the weather being bad and my life being safe? I went to Walmart and I purchased this, okay? This is a butane one. They do have some that take the green tanks. The green tanks do last longer, but they are more expensive. I got the butane one mainly because this is less expensive than the other one, and this is a little more portable than the green 2-burner one. And taking this cover off, the butane tanks will burn, according to the container, an hour and a half. On high, full run time. And this is what the butane tanks looked at. And I'll tell you guys, 2 weeks ago when I looked at these tanks were only $2.76. When I bought these yesterday I bought these on the 5th. You're not going to believe what I paid for these. $3.67. So they went up 90 cents. Are you kidding me? In 2 weeks' time. So they know people are prepping. They know people are knowing stuff's going to happen, whether we, whether other people want to admit it or not. We need to be prepared. I picked up 3 of these. Now, there are all kinds of people out there like, oh, you can heat your house with so many candles. Well, it doesn't really heat your house. Trust me, it takes too many. And for the price of that many tea candles, I'm going to do this and cover up and be in a small area and have a window cracked. Because I'm going to tell you, the candle thing, I've tried it. It doesn't really work, guys. Not when you're trying to heat a big enough room where you can actually have people in it. You want to make sure you have a sturdy, let me move this stuff out of the way. You want to make sure you have a sturdy, and I mean sturdy, stand. This is an old Ethan Allen TV tray. I have a set of 4. They had a rack that they set in, but the rack took up more space than just the 4 of them put together. So I have 4 of these. I started painting them. I was going to do, and I never got it finished. But this is immensely sturdy. They're very old. They're from back in the, I believe, 70s. I love these. I use them all over my house. I take them camping with me and everything. They are fabulous. And they're big enough to safely hold this without any worry. So you want to make sure you have a surface no matter where you're going to be, to make sure that you are in a safe area. You want to make sure that that's going to be where there's nothing that's going to catch on fire. So we're going to go ahead and open this. And that's what it looks like when you open. And there goes my book. Every one of these cases had a break in them. Every one of them. We'll take this out. This is what it looks like. Now, I'll tell you, my Walmart had 2 rows of these. One row was marked 1972, and the other row was marked 24.96. When I went up and paid for it, it rang up $24.96, and I pointed out that you have them in 2 places with 2 separate prices, and they gave me this for the 1972 price. So thank you, Walmart, for doing the right thing. So this is what it looks like. Okay, pretty neat little stove. It has a very sturdy, I know someone has one of these, so I gotta tell you, this little Coleman stove is the bomb. Okay, it's got a nice burner. Very easy way to put your tank in. I'm not going to put a tank in now. There's my butane tank. You take the red lid off, and let me turn it sideways, and you just slide it down into this like so. Okay, this is very lightweight, very easy to use. It is an igniter. The igniter is in there. You don't need to use a match or nothing like that. And making sure you have a good sturdy. It's wobbly here on the carpet because it's carpet. And it's where I have it set. But as you can see, you have this that locks your tank in. So your tank is not going to ever come loose. You just push this down and lock in your tank, and that tank is safe. You have your off and your max, and it is a very simple and easy stove. You do have your instruction booklet with it, and I absolutely am glad I bought this. Not only can you cook on this, but if it gets too cold in the little area that you're keeping for your warm area, you can turn this on, make yourself a hot cup of coffee in a perker or something to help warm yourself. And while you're at it, that's also warming up your little area. Now, guys, keep anything flammable away from this because this is an open flame. This is not like the top of your electric stove or anything like that. This is an open flame. Please be careful. The same with your candles. They're open flames. Please be sensible with them. Please keep children away from this. I know children, if you're going to be locked into one room, children are going to be bouncing around and they're not going to like being corralled into one room. But when it comes time to going to sleep, don't leave this lit where they're going to be sleeping on the floor near or anything like that. Warm up the room, wrap them up. Another good thing is if you have a tent, okay, put it up in your room. Now my tent is pretty much almost as big as this room, so putting a tent in here is not going to save me much. I'm better off just sleeping in my bed because my bedroom's not much bigger than my tent either. So I'm better off just doing this in my bedroom, using this in my bedroom where there's nothing near it, and just heating up my cup of coffee, warming up myself something to eat, using this to warm up some stuff. Getting a bunch of these built up. Do not keep them anywhere where it's going to be very hot. don't keep them in the same room with you either. Go out of the room to go get these. You don't want them near this flame while you're using the stove. You want to keep these away from it. So these will be all stored. I have 3 of them right now. I'll be picking up more later this week. I want to have at least 10. You know, you don't have to have them on high to warm up your area. They put out a lot of heat. This is a 7,650 BTU. That is more heat than most small heaters put out, guys. So you could put this on medium and heat up your room that you're in, and get yourself warm. Cover up. You know, I have lived homeless more times than I want to count with my children. And I would have given anything to have something like this. And I've lived in a tent with my children. And, you know, looking back, I can't blame my kids for hating me. I do say, you know, why are you only hating me? I wasn't the only parent there. I was doing my best to get us out of the situation. I finally did. But that's not here or there now. I'm showing you right now, this is a good way to get you guys through a cold snap, through if our power goes out. Get yourself one of these stoves before they disappear. Another good thing to have is if you can get to one of the inverters. I might make a video showing you, but I probably won't purchase one because getting that whole setup is like $100. I don't have $100 freely sitting around to do that, but I may make a video that will show you. Harbor Freight has the, it's in a clamshell, what do you call it? Now I can't think of the words. It's solar, so that you can charge up the inverter, and you can plug in like a lamp or something like that. It won't run a heater, but you can charge up things and you can run things that way. But it's expensive. This will not charge my laptop, but it will charge my cell phones where I can watch videos on it. So I'm okay with that. Everybody, please, if you do this, remember fire safety. Remember that even if it's a candle, it's still an open flame. Remember, if this is the shortening candle that you're going to use to light your home, because these things burn forever and they're inexpensive to make, it's still an open flame. Make sure they're all set where they cannot fall. Make sure they're all set on a solid place. Make sure that no matter what you do, the children cannot knock any of these items over or get their clothing on them. Remember, please, be very safe with using any of these items. And guys, I hope that none of us need these this winter. I don't want to hear the heartbreaking news that we had last year from Texas. That was just terrible to hear. So everybody, I love you all. Let's hope for a more calm winter, but I have a feeling it's not going to be. But we'll see. Everybody, take care. I hope you found some of the information I'm sharing with you helpful, and I'll talk to all of you guys later. Bye, guys.